and only request for postponement. We kindly request a new date for our appearance to discuss the Auditor General's report for the financial year 24-25. Please advise on the next available date that would suit the committee's calendar. Signed by Professor Kiari Maura, CCM Finance and Economic Planning.
The governor in question is Governor Irungu Kangata, who was a member of this committee in the last parliament, who was responsible for the rules of procedure that we are using, and who was a whip of the majority side in parliament. If it came from someone else who has never been in Senate, we could excuse. But if it comes from a former senator, it is impunity and contempt. And I think, honorable members, we must put this in the context of whatever is going on. Every governor must carry their own cross.
Charge of Nyeri region. We are auditing Muranga County.
Yes. So, did you engage with Nairobi?
Chair, apart from the notice I received I told you at around 10 at night. That is the only email I saw in the morning.
No, in terms of preparing for the meeting, did
yes,
the county,
yes.
Did you engage with the county?
Sure.
The county was prepared for the meeting?
Sure, we had engaged with the county.
And so, since the Auditor General is here, most likely even the staff had already traveled to come to Nairobi.
Yes, Chair.
So, we are spending public resources on, is this what you call a nugatory expenditure, or this is, how do you call that? When the auditor has to travel, the staff have to travel, the senators have to travel, everybody has to travel, only for the governor to disappear.
Chair, what I can confirm, I know the county assembly was around, the members of county assembly. I don't know if one is still around.
Members of county assembly were around, but they are not in the room right now.
Chair, the committee clerk assistant is in the room.
Committee clerk assistant, please go on record.
We've had the mic.
So that there's evidence that you attended this meeting. Maybe you might want to stand so that we can see you.
Yeah, through the chair, my name is Damaris Oshera Kimani. I'm the committee clerk, Public Investment and Committee. We were here with our members, but they just stepped out. I've texted them that we have started the meeting. They are not yet here. Thank you.
So the county assembly is here, but the county executive is not here. Honorable members, let's make this quick. Senator Chirarke.
Chair, thank you very much. One, I don't want even Kenyans to know that there is something called Council of Governors, because under our law there is no such, even legally and constitutionally. That's a club of people who are doing gossip, professional gossip, to be precise. Number two, Chair, I expected, although I saw the letter late, I saw Nandi requested for postponement, that is my county, and I did press-ups from Thursday to Sunday evening, waiting to deal with my governor, but unfortunately he ran away. I saw him standing and smiling broadly behind the COG yesterday when the statement was, but he will run, but we'll catch up with him. Siaya was also to be there. I expected the SG Sefuna to bring us good news because I saw it with him in Busia, but maybe you'll tell us in camera. The Muranga issue, Chair, this is, Chair, I think what you need to go out, and I agree with you because you had made earlier submissions, that the accountability is individualistic. It is not collective. Every governor shall be held to account based on the money that you allocated individually. I'm disappointed with Senator Irungu Kangata, who was a senator here, he was our chief whip, he was a member of Public Accounts Committee, for non-appearance before this committee. Yet he is also a lawyer. He knows the provisions of Article 96. He knows the provisions of Article 229. He knows provisions of Article 229(6) on individual capability. Chair, this is disappointing. We were ready to proceed with a meeting of Muranga. We want the people, the problems in Muranga, Chair, I was there on Sunday. There is the issues of avocado. There is the issues of mangoes. There is the issues of roads. There is the issue of water. There are many issues in Muranga that the governor should have been here to answer, Chair. Chair, what is the way forward? So that I don't take much of the time. One, is there a way under Powers and Privileges Act under your guidance to surcharge governors who don't appear? Because even, Chair, we are fair. We normally give them 7 days to 14 days for appearance. Why is it that they are giving us notices of postponement in the evening when some people are already asleep, some people are doing other things, as you have indicated, Chair? Is there possible to surcharge them so that we can reimburse the Office of the Auditor General and other stakeholders who have incurred their expenses to be here? Is there a possibility? Finally, Chair, looking at the timeline that we have as a committee and as a House, that by 31st March, as per the constitutional interpretation of the High Court, we should have considered and tabled our recommendations before the floor of the House. Is it possible for those governors who miss, like the governor of Muranga, that we issue summonses pronto, let them appear by a summons so that we can do, Chair? We are worried. We don't like lighter duties. I don't like lighter duties. But I worry if we continue allowing this rescheduling of the meeting, we'll end up having so many reports, so little time to ensure we write the report, we retreat and table before the House. Chair, is it possible to issue summonses pronto? And I agree with you where governors have failed. And I want to put the Inspector General on notice that under your guidance, we might need the Inspector General of Police to bring some of these governors. And I can assure you the number of governors who are afraid to appear before these committees are facing corruption allegations. Chair, with those many remarks, I yield. Let summonses be issued pronto, issue surcharge, let them appear here via summonses. I yield back, Chair.
Thank you, Senator Chararke. Senator Sifuna.
Chair, I think we have flogged this horse quite some because this is a story we started with in the morning. First of all, the public has to understand that we don't have the luxury of time. You know, like today, we are supposed to resume sittings at 2:30. It's already 1:45. And we have to render a report in the next few weeks to the House on all these sittings. When you see a governor requesting for a rescheduling, I've seen another one suggesting that they want to come in April, when we will already have constitutionally concluded this particular process. It tells you that there's a problem. I'm very disappointed in Governor Irungu Kangata. He was my classmate, by the way, at the University of Nairobi. And I know him. He is not somebody who you can say can fear to appear before this committee. And if the things we hear in the media about the work that he's doing in Muranga are true, because I see him at the, what is that jamboree that they usually throw it? The devolution conference. I saw he left people in awe of all the work that he has done in Muranga. But where the proof of the pudding happens, as you said, Chair, is here. Not in those glossy things that we see. We want to have those conversations. Number two, I've never known him to be somebody who goes with the crowd. So if he has changed, maybe he will come and tell us. Because he appears to have been swayed by that decision of that band called the COG, which is very disappointing. So please, Chair, give the directions like you have given in other cases. Let's summon them. Let's have this conversation with these county governors for the benefit of the people of Kenya and the counties that we represent.
Thank you. For avoidance of doubt, Clerk, can you read out our rules of procedure as pertains postponement or request for postponement? Because we don't want to be accused of victimization or witch hunt. What did we tell the counties or the governors? What are the circumstances? Because, I mean, there are situations where a governor can request for postponement, and we have allowed. But what do our rules say?
Thank you, Chair. Now, letter to Irungu Kangata for the rules for request for rescheduling. Number 4, the committee will accept only one request for postponement, which it shall deemed justifiable, and any subsequent request shall not be granted. Any request for rescheduling should be submitted in writing to the office of the clerk and copied to the committee email not later than 7 days prior to the scheduled date of appearance, and any request submitted outside this timeline shall not be considered.
And that is a letter that we sent to the governor.
Yes, Chair.
That if there was a need to request for a rescheduling, it should have been done 7 days before this meeting, so that the Auditor General does not engage in wasteful expenditure, the County Assembly does not engage in wasteful expenditure, and the Senate also does not engage in wasteful expenditure. So, unless there is any other observation, I think our rules of procedure are very, very clear, and under the circumstances, and owing to the fact that the purported letter came in the middle of the night and has not been processed formally, and in any case, even if it had been processed formally, it ought to have come 7 days to the meeting. We are left with no option but to compel the appearance of the governor by way of summons, and so we shall issue summons to compel the appearance of Governor Irungu Kang'ata before this committee. Of course, the consequences of defiance have already been clearly spelled out in law. We have other additional options like issuing fines, and if he still fails to appear, then we shall engage the Inspector General of Police. On Thursday, we have a scheduled meeting with the Inspector General of Police where we want to have a conversation on how we can work together, how we can partner, because the things we are dealing with here, some of them are issues that border on the criminal, and the Inspector General of Police also has a responsibility on that. So we must build a strong partnership. We must work together to ensure that if there are questions that need to be asked, to ensure that if Parliament is going to enforce its power and its responsibility, then he becomes a partner rather than an adversary. Our meeting on Thursday with the IG, I think the tone will be conciliatory, the tone will be about building synergies to ensure that we hold to account the people who have been indicted as engaging in pilferage of public resources. And I think we also must make it clear that in as much as there have been conversations around Council of Governors, we have never invited the Council of Governors to appear before this committee. We invite governors in their capacity as heads of government, and that's why we send 47 different invitations. So I think kila mtu abebe mzigo wake. If some people want to go with peer pressure, then it is up to them. But at the end of the day, you shall be held accountable. And since we are doing our reports on time, we are doing our reports and recommendations within the constitutional timelines, we will be very heavy on recommendations. And this time round, we expect that all agencies will have to comply with our recommendations, because there will be no question as to whether they were done outside the constitutional timelines. So I think that is, and again, any other request for postponement that comes, if it does not comply with the rules of procedure, every other request, if it does not comply with the rule of procedure, the automatic recourse is summons. So for example, Nandi sought a postponement on Sunday for a meeting to be held on Monday. And so that has already flouted our rules of procedure. That is an automatic summons. Perhaps in this session, we might issue an unprecedented number of summons, but I just want to encourage governors, please come to the Senate. You don't have to be compelled. You don't have to be frog-marched by the Inspector General of Police. I am not begging, I am just telling them, because the other option is to be frog-marched by the Inspector General of Police. The other option is to be forced to come. So it's not, as you said yesterday, it is not a favor to the Senate. It is a duty to the public for them to be accountable. And we want to guarantee that the conversations here will be objective, they'll be mature, they'll be adult level, but whoever comes here and the audit shows that they stole public money, we will not be merciful. We will not gloss over any issue. So, Clerk, the the other entities that have requested for postponement outside the timelines, we issue summons. I also have here a request to reschedule a meeting with the County Public Accounts Committee from the County Government of Wajir. This is the chair of the Council of Governors. But the chair of the Council of Governors is requesting that we give him an earlier date. He's not asking not to come. He's asking to be given an earlier date and misleading the other governors not to come. This peer pressure. So let it be on record that the chair of the Council of Governors, who swore not to come, is now asking us to kindly bring forward the meeting with him to 17th of February 2026. And I think the letter dated 3rd of February 2026, it was done within the timelines because he was scheduled to appear on 20th of February, but he has requested that we bring the meeting forward to 17th of February. I believe that is a request that we shall accept, but let it be on public record that he has agreed to appear. He has agreed to appear on an earlier date, and let his fellow governors ask him why he's misleading them with the kind of statements he's making. Honorable members, any other matter? Being no any other business, the meeting is adjourned. We meet again on Thursday at 9:30 to meet the Inspector General of Police and also consider the Auditor General's report on Marsabit County.